What's up everybody, and welcome to my LBA Season 5 Week 6 battle, and this is against Shadow Chew and the Tokyo Raichus, and this is a cross-division match. They're from Delta, and I think I'm from Zeta. I honestly forget which division I'm from, but I'm from one, they're from the other. And so the team he's bringing is Ferrothorn, Politoed, Goodra, Mega Sharpedo, Salamence, and Meloetta, and his bench is Scolipede. On his bench is Scolipede, Metagross, Raichu, and Whimsicott. So I'm very, very relieved to not see the likes of Scolipede, Metagross, and Whimsicott, because those things fuck me up a little bit. Scolipede could really sweep through my team, so I was especially glad he didn't bring it. And looking at his team, I'm pretty sure that's going to be a bulky Salamence to handle stuff like Excadrill and potentially Tyranitar and Talonflame if I brought it. And the reason he didn't bring those three things, he said after the match, was because he was afraid of Talonflame. So looking at his team, it doesn't really look like he has much to break down my Blissey Mandibuzz. Of course, I'm probably going to be abusing that during the match, so I'm going to lead off with my Blissey because I want to get my Stealth Rocks up ASAP, because it doesn't look like he's going to have hazard removal unless that is Defog Mence. And he's going to lead off with Meloetta, and I don't really want to mess around with this thing because Spec Psyshocks really hurt. So I'm just going to go ahead and fire off the Thunder Wave right off the bat, and he goes into his Politoed, which is perfectly fine with me because this thing doesn't immediately threaten me since it can't learn Whirlpool while still having Drizzle and potentially Paralyze Trap me. But it's going to switch out because it can't do anything, and I'm going to be able to get my rocks up for free as he goes into his Goodra. Now there's the possibility that he's running Superpower or something like that, but I know I can live 2 Superpowers unless he's insanely banded or something, and I can just fire off the S-Toss, but he's going to switch out, so that tells me he probably isn't Superpower. He's going to go into his Ferrothorn, so this is going to be big, because going for the Seismic Toss, it's going to make contact, and it's going to do damage, so that tells me what item he's going to be, and this is scouting to see if he is Shed Shell. So I'm going to go ahead, fire off that Seismic Toss, and I'm going to take the Iron Barbs, and I'm also going to take the Rocky Helmet. So this is huge. That means he doesn't have the Shed Shell, and I can trap this thing with Gothitelle, and I'm just going to go right for the trap, because I want to get rid of this thing. It could be a pain. If he sets up Leech Seeds on Blissey, it's never going to die, because it'll get so much HP back. So I do drop in Gothitelle, and he doesn't switch, so this thing its fate has been sealed because I can go for 2 HP fires, and even under the rain it will kill, so that's going to do quite a bit, and the next one will definitely kill, especially since the rain's going to go out. But he knocks off my Specs, which is actually even better for me, because that means I still have the chance to hit whatever tries to revenge kill me in the case that I do take their hit. So I'm going to go ahead and fire off the second HP fire, and that's going to knock out Ferrothorn. And he's going to elect to switch in Meloetta to revenge kill me, and I do run about 116 special defense EVs for situations like this where I thought I'd be trapping potentially Meloetta, so I wanted to take it on a little better. And thanks to that special defense investment, I'm going to be able to go for the Signal Beam and do about 50%, or more like 40% after the Stealth Rock. It's going to put under half, so it's in range of some of my other mons, and he's going to go down into the Energy Ball, and that shows me it's not Specs, which is good to know, and that means you might have been trying to catch an Excadrill if I was trying to be cheeky. But now I'm going to go into Manectric, and I might not outspeed him right away because I am not running Timid, I'm Modest, but it shows that he is running a bulkier set because I will be able to outspeed his Meloetta and fire off the Volt Switch. I know it's not going to kill because these things are pretty fat on the specially defensive side. I believe it's 100 HP and 120 something special defense, and so I'm going to drop into my Blissey because I thought it could take it on, especially since it's not running Life Orb or Specs. I thought I could take a hit, so he's going to go for the Psychic, and that means I can wall the hell out of this thing for days, and it's not going to be a problem at all. And then he shows the Close Combat, which I'm not worried about because I did get that Intimidate off, and Meloetta just has a poor physical attack stat unless it's in Pirouette form. So I'm going to be able to chew that up and go for the Soft Boiled, and I'm going to be recovering more than I lost to the Close Combat, so this is a losing battle for him. And now I want to get this thing paralyzed, so I'm just going to fire off the T-Wave. I don't really care what he does, and I'm just going to be able to gain lefties, and he is going to switch out, so that's fine, and he goes back into this Politoed. So that's a good play on his part because he's going to be able to soak up that paralysis since I already paralyzed it earlier, and the Mexican magic will not be working on this thing since I already inflicted it. So I'm going to go, well, he blocks a T-Wave, and now I'm just going to go for the S-Toss because I don't know what this thing wants to do, and I'm not really afraid of it either. I thought he might be Belly Drum. I thought that'd be kind of cool, but I didn't really think he was actually going to. So I go for the S-Toss, and he shows Endeavor, so that's pretty cool, and it's going to do a lot of damage to me since I have significantly more HP than he does. But the thing is, I can just spam Soft Boiled until he gets fully paralyzed, and then I can switch out. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that, and I won't be losing anything from it at all. And he gets full parried first turn, but it doesn't really matter that it happens so quick because I just continually spam Soft Boiled and there's nothing you could do about it. So now I'm going to go ahead and switch out into my Tyranitar, Choice Banded, and I was pretty confident I could pick up a kill with this thing, and I was also pretty confident he'd just go for Endeavor again. And even if he did go for the Scald, as long as it didn't burn me, I could definitely take the hit. And he does go ahead and fire off the Endeavor, which is perfectly fine for me because I can eat that up. And now here I'm thinking he's going to sack off his Meloetta, so I don't really want to risk missing a Stone Edge and having to take a close combat. But he goes into his Salamence, which caught me off guard, so that definitely means he is physically defensive. And I was really close to going for the Stone Edge, but I do just end up going for the safe Crunch, so had I gone for the Stone Edge, I would have been able to take out this Mence right away, which isn't really a problem since it can't touch Bliss, but it would just been nice to get the kill on T-Tar. So T-Tar still does a ton of damage with that Banded Crunch after the Intimidate, and now I'm going to switch out, and because he's not offensive, it looks like I can just go into Blissey and I can eat up any hit this thing has to go for, and it just can't do anything. So he's going to go ahead and roost up, and that's fine. And after last time when I tried to paralyze his Meloetta, he did soak up the para with his Politoed, so I assumed that he wouldn't want his Mence paralyzed, so I predicted that he was going to go into Politoed to try and do the same thing, and I'm just going to go ahead and fire off the Seismic Toss, which will be able to 2-hit KO the Politoed after the Stealth Rock. More importantly, it won't give him the opportunity to get off the Endeavor again on Blissey, because that could definitely be annoying. So I do get that prediction right as he goes into Politoed, and Seismic Toss will be able to 2-hit KO him from where he stands, and this thing will not be able to get the Endeavor off against me, which is going to be huge. So I'm going to go ahead and Seismic Toss here, and I have no reason to not just continually spam Seismic Toss. His team doesn't really have much in the way of instant recovery, and that's probably not going to be Rest and Hydration Goodra because he needs Sap Sipper to wall Amoonguss and Serperior. So he's going to go into Goodra as I fire up the Seismic Toss, and I'm going to speed this part up because it takes a while. And I'm going to go for the T-Wave right away because there is still the chance that he could run Hydration. I doubt it, but if I get a T-Wave, that's just great. So I'm just going to go for Muddy Water, doesn't do much, and I'm able to paralyze this thing. So now Blissey is in control of this, and he shows that he is indeed Sap Sipper. And I'm just going to continually spam Seismic Toss until he dies, and I'm just going to regulate my own HP and to make sure that I can take a hit from Mega Sharpedo. So I'm going to continually spam Seismic Toss, and I believe after this turn I'm going to Soft Boil up because I'm around half. And yeah, I'm just around half, and now I'm just going to go ahead and Soft Boil up. The rain's gone, so Muddy Water will not be doing much in the way of damage. And I'm not afraid of anything this thing can do to me because he doesn't have a superpower. He gets the full para, which is expected because we've been going at this for a while, and it's a 25% chance. Now I'm going to go for the S-Toss. It's going to put him in range of another one, and he goes for the Dragon Pulse, which does pitiful damage. And now that his Goodra is going to go down, he has absolutely nothing for Manectric, so the game is pretty much sealed because he loses to Mega Manectric. He has absolutely nothing to take a Stone Edge from Tyranitar, and he's going to go ahead and Mega Evolve right away with the Sharpedo and go for the Crunch, which is going to do a ton of damage to me. And Mega Sharpedo was such a huge threat, but getting the para on it completely neutralizes it because I can one-shot it with a bunch of my pokes. He's going to go for the Aqua Jet, and it's going to knock me out with the next one, and I'm just going to fire off Seismic Tosses. And I'm honestly okay with losing my Bliss, but unfortunately for him, he does get the full para, and that means I'm going to be able to live this next Aqua Jet barely and knock him out with the Seismic Toss. Now what I should have done is just let my Blissey die by continually going for Thunder Wave at that point so I could get 4 kills with my Mega Manectric instead of 3. But at this point it doesn't really matter because he's going to go into his elements. I'm just going to click Thunder Wave in the off chance he doesn't kill me, but because I don't want him to go wild with setup and if he's bulky and setup, I guess. But he's going to go for the Hydro Pump, and it's going to knock out my Blissey from 30 HP. I thought I might live, but no, it's not happening. So down goes Bliss, but the game's over because Mega Manectric outspeeds and one-shots the rest of his team, especially since he's not like Yachi Berry or anything silly on his Salamence. So now out comes Killua, our Mega Manectric, and I click HP Ice to kill this thing, and 2 Thunderbolts kill the Politoed and the Meloetta. And fortunately for me, they both will live the Stealth Rock damage, so I can get the kill with Manectric, and that's just game. So it's going to be a 4-0 for me, and Manectric claims its first soul of the game, and out comes Politoed, which it will be its next victim. And I actually did consider running Thunder for this game to steal Politoed's Drizzle, but I don't want to play around with not being in the rain and going for 70% accurate moves when I still have Thunderbolt, which is completely accurate and fairly powerful, and I didn't really need the extra power anyways. So his last mon is Meloetta, and I will knock it out with the Thunderbolt, and that's going to be the game. So Manectric and Blissey are huge players in this. Blissey is the MVP because it completely destroyed his team, and also with the help of Gothitelle to get rid of that pesky Ferrothorn. So that's it. I get the 4-0 win, so back-to-back wins, and I've now moved up to 2-4 with a -3 differential. So with another good win, I can be in the positives, and I'm really feeling optimistic about my season at this point. I can go on it. My hardest battles for the most part are done, and there's a bunch of battles up ahead that are definitely winnable for me, and I do think that I will win those battles. I do think it's possible that I can go 6-0 in the last 6 games of the season, or at least 5-1 or 4-2 at worst. So that's it. I'm just going to continue climbing, and I need to be pretty perfect from this point on to get into playoffs, but I do think it's doable unless something horrible happens. And yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed this. Drop a like and a comment if you did, and I'm going on vacation for 10 days starting this Friday the 24th, and I'll be back 2 weeks from, not this next Monday, but the Monday after that. So when I do that, I'll have some LBA to catch up on, but yeah, so I'll see you then, and I hope you guys all enjoy your days, and I'll see you later. Peace.